So I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but this is a new thing that has sort of hit the market. It's a Coca Cola with coffee. Turns out that a lot of people, they like making a cup of coffee and then they'll just pour Coca Cola in it. Instead of like cream or sugar, they'll just pour Coca Cola in it. I mean, I guess different strokes for different folks. I've never done that. But so I got this dark roast Coca Cola with coffee, and I'm gonna give it a little taste, see what it tastes like. You know what? This tastes exactly like you would think it would taste. It tastes like someone took Coca-Cola and they made coffee with it, or vice versa. But yeah, it just tastes like Coca-Cola, tastes like soda, mixed with coffee. It's got that carbonated little kick, but then on the back end you get this coffee flavor. Tastes a little bit like stale coffee, like coffee that you get in a can or in a bottle inside of one of those mini fridges at the supermarket. When I was a kid, I used to drink a can of soda in order to wake up for the day. It wasn't that I wasn't allowed to have coffee, but that was the adult drink. But soda was everybody's drink, so I would have a can of soda. That's what this reminds me of. I'm sure that if you were to have this first thing in the morning, you would be right up and ready. Let's see. Total sugars, 18 grams. I mean, it's not too bad, but I drink black coffee, so that's 18 grams more sugar than I'm used to drinking with my coffee. And calories per can, it's only 70 calories. But yeah, I think that those little Frappuccino bottles, Starbucks, those things are like 300 calories, so for being 70 calories, this is not too bad. In my personal opinion, it's missing a lot of that, I want that coffee flavor. So without any further ado, let's make a Coca Cola with coffee, coffee. Stick around till the end of the video and I'll give this a rating too. Order up! All I'm gonna be using for this little experiment is my go-to cheap-ass coffee and my can of the Coca Cola with coffee. That's it. Can't have coffee without a filter. I'm just gonna use some regular coffee here. One handful should be more than enough. So I'm gonna grab my can and open her up. Is there a way to save your fingernails when you open these things? Ugh. Got pretty close. Right there's the 4. I guess when the fizz dies down, we're at 2.5. The benefit of doing a taste review, still have half a can left. Soda. Coffeetize me, Daddy. Well, now the room kind of smells like a cherry Coca-Cola, and, you know what? That's a done brew. You know, even though I didn't add any water to this, I like thinking that it may have diluted the sugar, so, hey, to my health. So let's find out how Coca-Cola with coffee, how that tastes once you make it hot and you run it through more coffee. Well, it smells like Coca-Cola for the most part. Heated Coca-Cola. Whoa. I guess that the heating process made it, it's sweeter now. It's like a syrup. I actually preferred it before it went through the whole process. I had a friend who used to work in a movie theater, and he said that they used to get their Coca-Cola in these big bags. They would get syrup, and they would pour that syrup into the machine, and the machine would mix that with seltzer. I think this is probably what that syrup tasted like. I'm genuinely surprised. There's less coffee flavor now. There was more coffee before I added coffee to it in the process. If anybody understands how that might have happened, please let me know. So what do I give the original Coca-Cola with coffee in it? You know, I would say that if you prefer your soda over coffee, you could drink that instead for your morning. So I'm going to say that that is a 7 out of 10. Bada bing, bada boom. What score do I give the experiment? The Coca-Cola with coffee coffee? It's worse than that. I'm going to say that this is a 4 out of 10. Bada bing, bada boom. If you don't feel like pouring a can of Coca-Cola into your coffee, you could just drink one of these, and you'll get probably the same effect. And if you want something pretty gross, you could make one of these. It's not the best. There's no reason to do this other than some people like it, so, yeah, that you know what's coming. It's just coffee grounds. You're not gonna see any difference in this. Well, look, it's wet coffee grounds. There you go, if you were curious about what coffee grounds look like after soda's been through them. Of course, the filter's not gonna come out. That's the only piece I want. Looks like someone drowned a whole bunch of fleas. This time you can say it with me. Wiggle! That was stupid. I feel like people who say that they don't like the taste of Coca Cola, this is what they're tasting. It's pretty bad.